Alright, hey guys, Sure Shot Midget here. I have to redo this frickin' video because my iPhone sucks so much. And it shuts off because there's like no more space on my phone, even though I hardly have anything on here. Thank you, Apple. Alright, so this is going to be a video on maintenance on your gas blowback rifle, specifically, not really pistols. Just where to lube and what I do to clean my guns. So first of all, you disassemble your gun. Start with whatever you want. This is the lower assembly. Now the only thing you have to do in here is the trigger box. And I have a trigger box that's actually open here. This is going in my M16 because I'm building an M16. Actually used to be in the PDW. They're compatible, and I just bought a new hammer and valve lock. Everything else is stock and has been through a lot of ammo. I took out the autos here because I want semi-auto only. So what you want to do inside of here, really the only thing is, well, you want to grease the top of your hammer with something like this stuff. And this will pop out, so I'll keep that out, actually. Now with the hammer, spring, and trigger spring, and then the sear spring, you want to grease that all up with spray, some silicone spray, because, I mean, if you really want to be, that extent, to go to that extent to take it completely apart and actually, put some of this grease on the springs, you could do that, but I think the spray grease is just, it's better. Mainly because the spray grease will, sink. So if you put spray grease on your upper, it'll, seep into the lower. And this is where it's going to go. So it's not like your grease from here is going to go somewhere else. So it really stays in here. Because this is expensive stuff. This stuff is really nicely priced and lasts a long time. These are pretty much brand new. I already went through one set, but one of my, it's a pack of two, but the pack of two that I got lasted me almost a year, so. And I think it's like $8 for a pack of two or something like that. I think these were the smalls. So yeah, just spray some lube on the springs. That's really all you got to do. You can spray some on the trigger and sear the top of them just so they kind of mesh together pretty well. Other than that, there's nothing you need to do. And that's all. That's everything in the lower here. Your bolt lock, I guess you can put some underneath it so that it's smooth, but I've never had that jam up on me. Now with the upper. With the upper receiver, there's a lot to do. So, pull your charging handle out. Got your spring. You can spray some lube on your spring if you want, but I wouldn't use grease on the spring just because it'll all glob up on the back here or probably the front. Too much grease can be bad, actually. Your charging handle, get bolt out first. Pull your charging handle out. Now, when it comes to the charging handles, here's an M4 charging handle. On the PDW system, you don't need to put any grease inside of here because there's no contact on the bolt. On the M4s, you do. You don't have to if you don't want to on the WE system because of the roller bearing on the hammer, so it just cycles smoothly. It just rolls. You don't have to, but you can, just if you want it to be, as smooth as it can be. And then here, on the PDW bolt, it just hits that right there on the front. There's no roller bearing on that. So that's kind of why you get some wear on the front and some wear on the sides. I don't know if it contacts the sides at all or not. I don't think so because the paint hasn't rubbed off yet. This is a pretty new bolt. Both of these are. This one came out of a 416 that I bought from a guy, but he didn't include the pin. He didn't include the screw, didn't include this. He told me he did. He only would send me $5 back through PayPal. That's retarded. So I found a pin. Doesn't go all the way through, which that'll be a huge pain to get out. But I got it in there, got my M4 nozzle, literally found this laying around, missing the guide, but it still springs back and forth perfectly. I'm looking forward to my M16 build video. This nozzle should be good. Came out of my old MSK and it was garbage, but I fixed it up by basically sanding some parts down so it goes, cycles smoothly. So we'll see if that works in my M16 well or not. So sorry for that kind of sidetrack. You can spray some lube on the side of the bolt or the charging handle if you want, but I would leave it alone because it's just going to end up getting dirt all in back in here and on the front of the receiver here, and that bothers me. Actually, that's the back of the receiver. Here on the nozzle, I have a nozzle here. It's a PDW spare nozzle. You just want to spray some on the back here. Now, I know I put grease on this stuff and it gets dirty real fast. Actually, that's not dirty. But this right here, it gets dirty really fast. I don't know if you can see in the cracks, it just gets dirty. So, I would just recommend spray some in the back. You don't need it on the outside because then it makes it look really crappy. Although looks really don't matter. The nozzles on the PDWs I absolutely love. This one is fairly new, but this one I bought used, but has literally hardly any wear on it. And this one has just a tad, but I feel like it'll last a long time. My original nozzle lasted 10,000 rounds before it broke, and I've only had 200 through this, and then I think like 600 through this, but that's spare, so you just want to spray some on the back, or you can actually use the grease. I would use grease and slab it on the back, but you can use the spray if you want. I don't like the spray because it's just kind of expensive. It's not really expensive. It's pretty cheap, but you can get more with this. So when it comes to the upper, I spray, I do both. I put grease on the other side, the Teflon grease, and then I spray lube every once in a while on the other side of the receiver, the rails, just to keep it, going smoothly. Which this PDW is dang smooth. And as you can see, charging handle locks on the receiver. That is so important because people try to jam their bolt in by just putting it in, or they try to put it in the front, and that's not right. You need to line it up with the grooves. It's like the real thing, unlike the Western Arms system. Crappy. Go ahead and put everything back together. I'm kind of guessing where the dang hole is for the... So line it all back up. When it comes to your hop-up and barrel and bucking, you want to clean those when you take it apart to replace anything. Let's say you go swap a bucking. Put a lot of grease on your new bucking. A lot. And also clean your barrel every time you come back from an event. Even AEGs should be, you should do that with your AEGs. So I'm going to test fire this with a PMAG with the bolt lock off. I do assure you that bolt does lock back. The recoil is not super good, but as you can see, it does hop off the carpet. Yeah, so there you go. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope this helped you out. I recommend WE products. I've had lots of good experience with their stock parts, and haven't had any RA Tech parts, but their stock parts have lasted a long time, a lot longer than people have told me. So I wouldn't believe what people say. I mean, obviously, to hear from people's experience is good, but I'd try it out for yourself. And if you really don't like it, go ahead and sell it. A lot of people, will pay big bucks for WE stuff because gasable backs are expensive to begin with. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for my M16 build.